Hello YouTube, and welcome to the beginning of my Atlanta Falcons franchise. We will be using Brian McKee for our coach, and I will be starting just using the Atlanta Falcons playbooks, and I will at some point probably create my own playbook. We're going to be starting in the preseason. I'll probably just sim the preseason, but I'll make my own cuts. We're going to start on all Madden. If it becomes too much of a struggle for me, because I'm definitely not the best player out there, I might bump it down to all pro. I'll be using the latest version of Mat 10 sliders that have been posted to the community to download. We're going to keep the trade deadline on, salary cap, superstar abilities. All of this will be on. We're going to turn pre-existing injuries off though, just because I want to start with the entire team. Practice squad stealing is on, as well as the career clock. I'm not sure what this full on-field control is, so if one of you wants to let me know, I would appreciate that. We're going to be starting out on 12-minute quarters with a minimum play clock time of 17 seconds. Alright, so first in this video I'll just be looking over what this team has. And we'll start with the quarterback, Matt Ryan. He's 34 years old. And he has really decent ratings with a few good years left in him. He has a couple of abilities, inside Deadeye and dashing Deadeye. So he is quite a good quarterback. However, he is going to be regressing. And so sometime in the near future, we'll be looking to draft someone to maybe sit behind him for a year or two to develop and become the future starter of the Atlanta Falcons. He has a few years left on his contract, I believe. He has 5 years left on his contract. And by 2023, I don't believe we're going to be wanting to pay him $31 million. I don't know what his regression is going to look like at that time, but I do not believe that he will be worth that salary cap. So maybe at the end of 2021, 2022, we'll look to either trade or cut him, but that is quite a ways down the road. Also, his salary cap hit after this year jumps, it almost more than doubles. So if he's not playing well, we'll definitely have to come up with a plan to move on. As far as a backup, we have Matt SCHAUB. I'll probably look to sign a free agent because I would definitely believe we can find a better backup quarterback. He's only got 69 medium accuracy, and that's just not going to work. At wide receiver, probably where this team stands out the most, we have Julio Jones, who is 30 years old. He's going to start regressing as well. But he definitely will have several good years left in him as well. He's got a couple abilities, in and out elite and post flag elite, and I definitely like running posts and corner routes, so I will definitely be utilizing that. Just overall a very, very solid player who is going to be a game changer for us. At number 2 receiver, we have MOHAMED SANU, who is also 30 years old and is going to start regressing, and he will not be able to have as long of a career as Julio Jones is going to have. And at number 3 receiver, we do have Ridley, who is in his second year in the NFL, who definitely will be able to step up and replace Mohamed Sanu's role. He already has very, very good route running. His catching is okay. I'd like to see it move up a bit, and we will definitely be working on that. He's very fast. Not the fastest receiver, but definitely will be faster than most corners he will be facing, especially as the third receiver right now. For our running backs, our number 1 running back is DEVONTA FREEMAN, who's an 89 overall, and has good speed, good break tackle, has really good juke and spin. Stiff arm, we won't be able to stiff arm much with him, but that is okay. And he has a lower injury rating than I would like. Well, hopefully he'll be able to stay healthy, though. For some reason in Madden, running backs are always getting hurt. So we will definitely be keeping up with our backups. As far as offensive line goes, it's going to need some work. We have Jake Matthews, who's 27 years old. 27 years old. He'll be okay for a couple years. However, once regression hits and he starts losing attribute points really, really quickly, I'm thinking we at most have 3 or 4 good years with him. However, we have James Carpenter here, and he's very much below average with the run and pass block. He's definitely a hole along our offensive line. We have Alex Mack, who currently is an 89 overall with a zone blocker, which when I run out of the shotgun, I pretty much exclusively run zone plays, so that is going to be very helpful. However, he is also hitting regression. He'll have several good years left just because of how high his overall is, but eventually, in a couple years, we are going to have to look to replace him. He also only has 2 years left on his contract, so depending on how much money he wants after the 2020 season, I'm not sure it'll be worth keeping him around. However, because of his superstar abilities, it would definitely be worth considering. But the brightest spot on this offensive line is probably here with Chris Lindstrom, a 22-year-old rookie, 70 overall with hidden development. He already has as good, or if not better, ratings than James Carpenter at the other guard position, and he has a much higher ceiling, has a lot more potential just because he's a rookie. He has a higher development. It's going to be at least star. Hopefully it'll be superstar. I actually do not know. And then here, KALEB MCGARY, a 67 overall rookie with 69 run block and 68 pass block. This is the spot where our offensive line is the weakest, and I realize he is a rookie. However, I don't know if with these ratings he'll be able to hold up at all, because the way Madden works, he's going to be facing all of the really, really good left ends. So if we face somebody like Khalil Mack, he's not a left end, he's a left outside linebacker, but if we face somebody like Khalil Mack or DeMarcus Lawrence or Cameron Jordan, he's going to have to be facing them with a 68 pass block, a pass block finesse of 66, and so this is just not a good situation. I'm afraid that most of our pressure is going to be given up by KALEB MCGARY, and I'm not sure. I might look to see if there's anybody on the free agent market that we can bring in and have him sit behind them for at least a year. At tight end, we have Austin Hooper, who is a very good tight end. We'll definitely be utilizing him a lot. He has a passable run block for a tight end, and he is very good catching. His speed is okay for a tight end. He's not going to be the fastest one out there, but he's definitely not the slowest. And his short and medium route running are passable. And he's almost about to get another XP point. That's very good. How many years do we have on his contract? Oh, he's got 1 year left, so I will definitely most likely be looking to re-sign him. On defense, starting with our pass rush, we have TAKKARIST McKinley, who's a second-year player out of UCLA, who is fairly fast. He is strong with finesse moves, but he doesn't really stand out there. It's passable, but it's nothing crazy. And then on the other side, on the right side, we have ADRIAN CLAYBORN, who is 31 years old. He's going to be regressing. We're going to have to look to replace him fairly soon. He has good power moves, but neither of our ends are good at run stopping. Their block shedding is both really low. We have GRADY JARRETT at defensive tackle, and this is definitely our best player on the defensive line. He's a run stopper as well as, and he also has very good power moves. Not so much a finesse player, but that's okay. He has extremely good power moves, and that's all you really need, one or the other. If you have both, that's a little bit crazy, honestly. He's a fifth-year player, and he has 1 year left on his deal. We're paying him $15.2 million right now. We most likely are going to have to re-sign him, especially considering that the other player on the defensive line is Tyler Davison, who's also 27 years old. He's not going to improve that much. He's going to go up to a 76 overall here pretty quick, though. But as you can see, his doesn't have good power moves. He doesn't have good finesse moves. He doesn't have that great block shedding. He doesn't really stand out in any area. He's fairly strong, but without the skills at power moves or finesse moves or even block shedding, honestly, he's not going to be that great of a player. So defensive tackle is going to be an area that we look to address here in the near future. At corner, we have Desmond TRUFANT, who is 28 years old. He has several good years. He has very good man coverage and zone coverage. He's very fast for a corner. Definitely one of our best players on this team, especially on defense. And he has a very good injury rating. Hopefully he won't be missing any time. That's one of my big fears, is like with this team, if one of the starters goes down, there's not really anyone there to step up and take their place. The backups are not the greatest. After Desmond TRUFANT, our corners drop off dramatically. The next best player is Isaiah Oliver, who is 22 and has star development. He'll definitely get some development, especially since he's playing so much. However, those coverage ratings are definitely not great. He's not the fastest corner. He's got okay speed, but he won't be able to keep up with burners. He's an okay cornerback. Hopefully he'll be able to develop into something better. Maybe he'll get a development upgrade and get some XP that way. So with this game, especially with the defensive line and cornerbacks, it is so easy to get development upgrades. So Isaiah Oliver definitely could become a very, very good corner. At safety, we have KEANU, who is a fourth-year player out of Florida. And honestly, I believe he is the bright spot of our defense. I've played against him in other franchises that I've done offline, not on YouTube. And this big hitter trait means that he will be knocking balls out for us if people try to go deep over him. He's got Enforcer, which is probably the most overpowered ability in this game. And so hopefully maybe at some point he'll be able to go up to X Factor and become an absolute beast for us at strong safety. Over at free safety, we have RICARDO Allen, who is a 6-year player out of Purdue. His ratings are okay. He's got 81 zone coverage, 79 man coverage. His speed is okay. His tackling ability is not great, but overall solid safety. He's got a couple of years left before regression hits him. We might draft someone to maybe develop behind him, or potentially, if we draft good enough, we could trade him. We also have a backup in DeMonte Kazee, who does not have a star development or anything like that, but he has good zone coverage. His man coverage does need some work, though. So if we need to trade someone to get a piece or maybe some picks, I would not be opposed to trading RICARDO Allen, depending on what we could get for him. He is a very solid player who should get a solid return. At linebacker, we have Deion Jones, who is another very, very good player on this defense. He has 90 speed, which is very nice. His block shedding leaves something to be desired. However, he has good hit power, especially for someone his size, and his coverage ability makes him definitely one of the better players on this team. We have Devondre Campbell, who is another pass coverage linebacker. Once again, block shedding is very, very, very bad. For being a pass coverage linebacker, he only has 70 zone coverage. He is a fourth-year player. So we can see how he does this season. I'm not sure. I'm not convinced that I want to keep him around. I'm not sure this skill set is something I'm particularly looking for. It seems to me like this team is going to struggle stopping the run. So depending on how the season goes, I'm not sure I'll be looking to keep him around. Finally, starting for us, we have FOYESADE Olokun, who's a 24 second-year player out of Yale. He has really good speed. However, just the skills, they're just not there. Look at this: 42 power moves, 46 finesse moves, 54 block shedding, 69 zone coverage. He looks to be a good athlete. However, that seems to be about it. I might see if there's another position he would be better at, but this zone coverage skills combined with absolutely no pass rush ability at all, and not even being able to get off blocks with 54 block shedding. I'm not sure that a linebacker is the spot for him. He is 6'2", 215 pounds. So I'll take a look at him, see if we want to keep him at linebacker. We might play him there a couple games, but with these very low, these 42, 46, and 54 ratings for the power, finesse moves, and block shedding, I'm not sure how good he'll actually be. So after looking at the lineup here, I think it's clear to me that this year the Atlanta Falcons definitely underachieved. I don't know with that roster they didn't even come close to making the playoffs. I know they beat several fairly good teams. However, I just don't understand how it happened that they didn't even come close to making the playoffs when they have Matt Ryan, Julio Jones on the offense, and a really, honestly, a very good running back in DeVonta Freeman. So that was the overview of the team. I'm going to be looking at the focus players now. We have Chris LINDSTROM, who is our hidden development right guard. Definitely want to have him on being one of the focus players. We have Kendall Sheffield, who is a 68 overall. He's a 23-year-old rookie. I don't believe there's anybody better to put in that spot. I'm not sure, with his age being 23, if he is going to have a real future with our team. That man and zone coverage is really low. It's going to need some work, and he's also our third best corner. So our corners are very weak right now. We have two young ones who are going to develop. One of them having star development. It's very nice. But with that, and then we honestly have one good corner. And then after that, they'll need some work. We also have Jordan Miller, who's also a 22-year-old rookie. Once again, coverage skills are not great. He has okay speed. We'll see how it goes. We might be looking at getting a new corner here soon. Maybe, I'm not sure, maybe one of these free safeties. Not him. Maybe one of these free safeties would be able to play corner. We kind of need to have 5 corners on the roster just in case one gets injured. However, these corners, I don't know why this corner here is even on the team. WREH-WILSON is just bad. Look at that man in zone coverage. He can't cover. He doesn't have good. He has okay speed. He can't tackle. So next video, I will be playing week 1 against the Vikings. I'm going to simulate the preseason, do all the training, and make the final cuts. And I will see you guys in the next video. Thank you.